Everybody, it's Jake Mace, the vegan athlete. Can you guys see me and hear me okay? I have no idea if this live function is working, so the only way I'll know is if you guys come into the chat and tell me if this is working and if you can see me and hear me okay. It's Earth Day. Happy Earth Day to everybody. I love seeing all the people hitting thumbs ups and commenting. What's up, Drask and Cindy? Perfect. We're gonna try this live function, and you guys gotta cut me some slack. This is YouTube Live, and this is a brand new feature that YouTube is trying in beta, and they're only giving it to YouTube channels that have over 10,000 subscribers. So I have two YouTube channels. My one YouTube channel has about 510,000 subscribers. We have over 500,000 subscribers. It's called Shaolin Center. And this one, Vegan Athlete, has over 50,000 subscribers now. So we're gonna try the new live feature and see if it works. So if the video quality is a little bit bad, cut me some slack. Understand that this is shot on my phone with YouTube Live. And I hope you guys enjoy the sneak peek, live peek of my backyard garden and edible landscape. So happy Earth Day. Let me show you guys right now how I'm celebrating Earth Day and the good things that I'm doing for the earth right now. And if you guys want to do something good for the earth, hit the thumbs up right now on my video and share it. The only way that we'll get the word out there about this movement that we love, which is gardening and growing our own food at home in our front and our backyards, the only way we get the word out is with the share button. If I teach a class in Phoenix to 500 people, that's great. But if 50,000 of you hit the share button, the world changes much, much quicker to a more localized food economy grown in our front and our backyard. What's up, Ricardo and Frank? Sandra, Organic Grow, what's up? Hey, the Jabuticaba, we're gonna show that. It's right over here. I'm gonna show it in 1 second, hang on. So first I got this palette and I've reused. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Remember, recycle is the least important thing. It's better to reduce first, don't use it. Better to reuse it second and recycle it last. So we reused this palette and turned it into a holder for all of our outdoor tools, like outdoor shovels, our dustpans, our pool skimmer, brooms, things like that. My neighbor has this beautiful bougainvillea, and this is my neighbor's bougainvillea. It's not edible, but this time of year it does look beautiful. And the leaves and the flowers drop to the ground and turn into mulch for my garden. We've got this beautiful looking 4-year-old miniature peach tree called the Bonanza peach tree. And this guy is just loaded right now with beautiful peaches that are about the size of golf balls. And even though this peach tree is a miniature, 4 years old, this guy puts off over 50 to 60 to 70 peaches every year. And they're big. So it's like yin and yang. This tree is small, but the peaches are big. Just like many of you. Many of you out there are small people with big hearts and you do big things, okay? And a lot of big people out there do big things, but sometimes the big people do small things. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go on over here to the next plant. This is a netleaf hackberry. It's a native to the Sonoran Desert in Arizona, and it puts off edible fruit. So if you guys are in the desert area, Southern California, maybe Nevada, Las Vegas, maybe Texas, any part of the Sonoran Desert, the netleaf hackberry is a good one. This beautiful cactus. We have lots of cactus in the yard too. And hello to Jason, and hello to Lori and Andiar, and what's up, PSO Crocker, and Adam and Cruz. Everybody's in there. Thanks for joining my live video. This is a fig tree. It's a brown turkey fig in its 2nd year growing, and he's coming back nicely. I pruned him to fill in this spot. So this year has been a year of pruning all the trees to fit the spots that they're in. If we walk past, this is pretty cool. I have this this arbor that is kind of the face or the entryway into my garden, and it's covered in grapevines right now. And there's grapes everywhere, and you can actually pick the grape leaves off the grapevine, and you can eat that. And it tastes like grapes with a little bit of a fibery texture. You can even make some dolmas or dolmades with it. And then of course the happy Buddha, the fat Buddha that takes all the sins of the world into his belly, but he's still happy. What's up, the happy veggie? Say hi to Liam for me. And keep gardening, Liam. Keep doing it, man. Let's go inside the arbor into Longevity Gardens. Whenever I take people into my yard, or as I was building this yard, I oftentimes would sing the Willy Wonka song, "Come with me and we'll be in a world of my imagination." Hey, somebody from Vancouver Island. That's where I was born, in British Columbia. So Coco Lee, I was born there. I was born in Cranbrook and I grew up in Richmond. And I would love to move back someday. I grew up in Whistler too. I grew up skiing Blackcomb in Whistler. So this is an ironwood tree. This raised bed here is full of borage and carrots and tomatoes and basil. And it surrounds my pool. So the pool back there is surrounded by a raised bed. And here's the Djibouti Kaba. You guys saw that video where I planted this Djibouti Kaba, what was that, about a year and a half ago or so? You have to look at the video. Search in YouTube, search Jake Mace Djibouti Kaba. And it's looking great. All the new leaves came out this spring, are looking really good. No flowers yet because they're a slow grower, but I gave this guy a nice microclimate here. And he's got protection from the mulberry and the bananas and all this, and he's doing just fine. And so hopefully next year we'll get some Djibouti Kabas. It's saying I've got a bad connection right now, so I'm gonna try to move around and see if my connection improves. And I hope it does so that we can keep this live tour going. This is my first time trying the live tour in the backyard. It still says bad connection. Let's hope it gets better. If you guys wanna bear with me 1 second, let's try one thing. I'm gonna try one thing to make our connection better. I have a case on my phone. I'm gonna take the case off and see if that improves the connection that we have. Okay, let's hope that makes it better in about a minute. I've got this windmill spinning here. I'm interested in getting some windmills for the yard that generate power. That would be pretty cool if you guys have a connection for me there. And if we look up into this tree, there are tons of mulberries growing in this tree. Some of them are green, some of them are purple. The purple ones are ripe. And if you guys see, for instance, this one right here, if I pull this leaf back, see that beauty right there? That to me is what it's all about, growing your own food at home. And so if I grab this mulberry and pick this guy off, and look at the size of this guy. It's as big as my head. The closer I hold it to the camera, the bigger it gets. And this is a Pakistan mulberry, my favorite one. It's so big. And it's sweet like syrup. And I've been eating 20 or 30 of these every day, and I have 2 humongous bags of them already in the freezer, frozen, so I can eat them slow over the next 6 months. It's another one. So here's the thing. If you guys put in some infrastructure into your yards, eventually fast food becomes in your front, in your backyard. You don't need McDonald's anymore or Burger King. Over here, we've got the flowers of the pineapple guava or the feijoa. These pineapple guavas, I don't eat the red part, I eat the white part, just the petals. And they're sweet like a dessert. And their texture is really good too. Their texture is like, kind of like cotton candy-like in texture. And I leave the red part so it can still turn into a feijoa. It's so good. This is a new date palm that I just planted. It's a black sphinx pup off the mother, and I think it's gonna be okay. Sometimes the date palms are tough to stabilize when you put a new pup in the ground. I think it's gonna be okay. What's really cool is that behind me here are these date palms, and they're a few years old and they're doing great. Okay, so growing fruit trees is one of the ways that I'm helping the earth today on Earth Day, okay? Such as this carob tree right here. This carob tree is a really good one for the area that I live in, and we can grow pecans really well. So behind me over there is a giant female fruiting mulberry over there. And this is the pecan tree that is loaded with pecans this year. It's just starting to come back for the spring. I also use solar panels on my house, and you can see them back there. So we have 28 solar panels on the house, and there's a date palm right here in front. I also rescue animals like vicious pit bulls like Tesla. Pit bulls are out of control, you guys. there's just no stopping them. They have lockjaw and they'll kill your children as they sleep and show love on the ground. All of the myths about pit bulls are so false. This is my pit bull Tesla, and she's the nicest dog I've ever had, and she's just fun and lazy, just wants to lay around. And when I throw the ball to the cattle dogs, Tesla just wants to come lay at my feet and be pet. She's the best. Right, Tesla? Okay, so we got the solar panels on the roof for Earth Day. We've got the fruit trees in the ground for Earth Day. We've got the edible bushes like the pineapple guava growing, and we also have native trees like the ironwood and the hackberry. We're also, for Earth Day, we're taking the city water and we're turning it into a pond right here with fish. So there's my backyard pond with all my koi fish, and they know that when the vegan athlete crouches down at the edge of the pond, it means he might have food. We'll go feed them together in a second. All these fish are adopted off of Craigslist from families who couldn't keep them anymore. And I built the pond and put it in because there's an article out there that I read from my friend Paul Holdeman, the pond gnome, that said that if you have a pond in your backyard of a certain size and your neighbor has a grass lawn of a certain size, the same size, the grass lawn is much more wasteful of water. The pond uses less water. Plus, the pond brings life to native insects, native birds, native dragonflies, and all the native animals that have been forced into a concrete desert that humans created. The pond brings life back to them. And I could say, yes, that's true. I have never had so many owls and great blue herons and dozens, maybe even over 100 different varieties of birds and dozens of colors of dragonflies as when I put in this pond. So I love it. I love it. And Venus is always here with me. Say hi to Venus. She's my cattle dog, my best hiking buddy. Want to say hi? And this Pepper. They can tell when I'm talking to you guys, they want to come be a part of it. Okay, we're gonna also show for Earth Day, I'm trying to conserve water, of course, by, turning the water off when I'm brushing my teeth. Don't let it run. Trying to take appropriate showers. Don't just waste the water. If you can get something in your shower that flicks the water off easily while you're soaping up, that's really good too. And I'm using lots of mulch. So all this mulch, what I did is I've used all this mulch in my landscape for many reasons. One, it doesn't go to the dump. When the mulch goes to the dump, it turns into methane and pollutes the earth. When they compress it, no oxygen gets to it. When it goes in my landscape, it turns into soil, black soil after years of composting. And the mulch also conserves water because it reduces the evaporation of my fruit trees and keeps the water in their root systems. So the mulch is a good way that I'm trying to help the earth, but I'm also doing something else to help the earth with my transportation. I'm driving an electric car and a hybrid car. My hybrid car gets 50 to 55 miles a gallon, and the electric car I've driven for the past 4 years, the Nissan Leaf, doesn't use any gas at all. And I've charged it with my solar panels and with Nissan dealerships. Now, when I'm not driving the cars, I ride my bicycle. And I try to ride my bicycle every day. And if you guys are gonna go to the gym and work out, why are you driving your car to the gym? Take your bicycle. It's like a pre-workout. It's like a warm-up. But I want to be honest with you guys. On this Earth Day today, if you guys drive a Hummer that gets 6 miles a gallon, if you still use plastic bags at the store, if you let the water run in your shower 24 hours a day, and if you have zero garden, zero solar panels, and zero fruit trees, and you smoke cigarettes, but you're vegan, you're actually doing a really good job for the planet, because the number one way that you guys can help the earth and be an environmentalist, conserve water, number one way you can conserve water, number one way you can conserve land and reduce pollution is by going vegan and being a plant-based human. Because the meat and dairy industries use more water and more land, and they produce more pollution than anything else. That's the UN that said that. It's not cars. It's all of the manufacturing processes that are attached to the meat and dairy industry for human consumption. So I'm trying to do my part with the solar panels, with the fruit trees, with the adopting animals, with the wood chips, with the electric cars, with my bicycle, and by going vegan. And I hope that you guys think about how much strain your diet is putting on Mother Earth. And since I've been 19 years old, I've been 100% plant-based vegan guy. So that's it. What do you guys want to see? I got some rude people in the chat. If you guys see any kind of bullies or trolls in the chat, team up against them and let them have it. I don't take that crap. Let them have it. You guys, I've really enjoyed showing you guys my edible landscape over the years, and this is one's doing really well. It's a this is my wall. This wall right here lines my trash alley, and this is a passion fruit vine that's just taking over. And look at how pretty the flowers are of the passion fruit vine. They're so beautiful. They're like a sea anemone or something. And they're producing fruits. I'm gonna have hundreds of fruits off this passion fruit vine in about a month or so, maybe 2 months from now, because it's loaded with butterflies. These passion fruit vines and butterflies have a symbiotic relationship. I'm also growing a lot of edible cactus over here. These prickly pear nopalito cactus are 3 different species of nopalitos that have tunas, and the tunas are the fruits that form on the prickly pear pads. So the tunas de los nopalitos. These are 3 varieties that had the biggest fruits I've ever seen. And when I found them, they were in full production. So I ate some of the fruits and they were amazing. And they were the size of softballs. 1 was green, 2 were purple. So I took 1 pad off of each mother cactus, just 1 pad, sustainable, and I planted it here in my garden. Now, 1.5 years, 2 years later, look at how many pads they have. They're like legit cacti. And hopefully this year I'll get some flowers and some fruit. And when I do, I'll show you guys at the Vegan Athlete YouTube channel here. If you guys are interested in signing up for my seed bank box, which you guys can get seeds from me each month at seedbankbox.com. Here's the results so far of the seeds that I planted at my seed bank box. This was March's seed bank box, which was zucchini and squash. And also in February's seed bank box, we had the red leaf lettuce and the dinosaur kale, which is growing really well. Last month we also had radish seeds, so there's my radishes starting to grow. And they're putting off some nice little radishes. And over here on this side was also last month's seed bank box, which was corn, glass gem corn. And the corn is growing taller. It's about 2 or 3 feet tall now. I'm about to prune the mesquite above the corn to give it more light. And the very first seed bank box, February's box, had the yellow pear cherry tomato in it, among other things. And the plants are doing really well right here. These are the 2 tomato plants that are doing really, really well. And each seed bank box has 7 to 10 varieties of seeds in it. So I think this month's seed bank box, April's box, had 8 varieties of seeds. Next month's seed bank box is going to be great, and you guys have about 8 days left to sign up. If you guys want to get May's seed bank box, go to seedbankbox.com. I want to end this live video showing you guys the tortoise. Let's go see if he's still out or if he went to bed already. He might have gone to bed. He did. The tortoise is sleeping. We're gonna go over here and finish the live video with my main garden center. So if you guys see this arbor here, I copied this arbor when I used to watch my friend John Kohler with Growing Your Greens' YouTube channel. Now we're friends, and we've done some videos together, me and John. And I initially copied his arbor that he had at his San Francisco house. And now when we walk in, it's full of plants. So I have lots of grapes on this side that are growing. I also have lots of things going to seed right now, like my dill is going to seed. So I grabbed this dill plant right here and put it in my hand. These are all the dill seeds. And now what happens is if I just throw these over my shoulder, I'll have dill pop up everywhere next season. So the garden right now is full of plants, and it's about 50% edible, 50% going to seed. Look at the Amazon behind me. Those are raised beds. You can't even see them anymore because they're covered in tomato plants. Yeah, I got behind. I had some I'm having right now some personal things in my life going on, so I'm a little bit behind on April's seed bank box video. I've already filmed it, I'm editing it, and it should be out tomorrow or the next day. So thanks for being patient with me. So have you guys ever seen what a carrot looks like when a carrot goes to seed? This is a carrot flower. It's beautiful. It's like a little puff. Isn't that amazing? And if we go in here deeper, I wanted to show you guys that I have these sweet peppers that have been going for 2 years now, and even though it's the springtime in Phoenix, I'm still getting peppers that have been overwintering and growing here in my garden. And they're very sweet. All kinds of varieties that I get here locally in town from my friend Suzanne Velarde with VelardeGardens.com, but she doesn't ship, so you got to get them only if you're in the Phoenix area. And if we go back this way, I want you guys to see my tomatoes. They're out of control. I got them all from Suzanne Velarde, VelardeGardens.com, and look at how big they are. I'm 6'1", I'm 6'2" with these shoes on, and these tomato plants are a foot or two above my head in just a few months. And they're loaded with tomatoes. There's just tomatoes growing everywhere, all around here. And probably in about a month or two from now, I'll get so many ripe tomatoes it'll be out of control. Because in about a month from now, when it gets really hot, like over 105 in Phoenix, the tomato flower stops producing tomatoes, but all the existing tomatoes that set will continue to ripen. And if we sit back here together, this is my quiet area. It's right against the wall, so nobody's here. And I made this little corner back here as like a meditation corner of the yard. And now with all the tomato plants, it's kind of surrounded by a jungle of tomato plants. Look at how many of them there are. Look at that. That's my forest of tomatoes in my backyard. And now I have a little tiny quiet little meditation corner that nothing can disturb, right? I planted a new avocado tree back here too. This baby avocado is just starting to grow here. And this guy is a Catalina avocado from my friend Seamus O'Leary's Tropical Fruit Trees. And look at that guy. He looks so good because he's getting shade protection from the mesquite tree above and the tomato plants behind. So there we go. There's my main garden. All right, let's get out of here. The jungle. Oh, you know what I'm growing too is chamomile. So amidst the tomatoes, I have all this beautiful chamomile growing down here that I've been making tea with every day. And I'm going to my mom's house tonight, so I'm gonna bring some chamomile to my mom and we can make tea, and I guarantee you when she drinks this, she's gonna go out in a second. She's gonna be asleep in 1 sec. Because my chamomile is so powerful because it's grown in rock dust, it's grown in good compost and worm castings, that it's really powerful. Way more powerful than the Celestial Seasonings brand you would buy from the store. Even though I love Celestial Seasonings because I've toured their factory a bunch of times. All right, you guys, I'm back out of my main garden. I'm going here into the yard, and I want to thank you guys for joining me today on this live video. My Moringa trees are guarding my house. If you guys want to see, I grew these from seed about 1 year and 3 months ago. Now look at the size of these Moringa trees growing above my house, and that's the western wall. So that wall gets like over 200 degrees in the summertime, and these Moringa trees are shading my house. Pretty cool. And then if we look back over at the yard, that's the food jungle that I've created over there, and I like it. This tree back here is an avocado tree that's also, ooh, a mulberry. Let's pick that off of there, and I cannot leave that without eating it. This avocado tree is from also my friend Seamus O'Leary, and look at how big it is now. It's getting so big and so healthy looking. And it's right next to his friend, Mr. Pomegranate tree, Granadas, growing here too. Guys, I'm gonna end this live broadcast. I'm gonna try to go live for about a minute to my Facebook group, Urban Gardening in Arizona Facebook group. If you guys want to go over to the Facebook group page right now, Urban Gardening in Arizona, ask to become a member, and I'll go live there again in about 2 seconds. And thanks for joining me here on my journey. I'll have a pro YouTube video with the pro video equipment out tomorrow. And you guys, you know what? I got some good videos coming up, so stay tuned, because I have collaborated with some really cool people, and I'm gonna be putting it out on my YouTube channel here coming up. Let's go back here a second. This is the forest of figs. So these are fig trees here growing, and next to the fig trees, I got papayas. And look at these papayas, they're starting to get ripe right now. These guys are almost ready. Oh, they're soft already, they're getting soft. I can probably pick these guys right now and let them ripen the rest of the way on the counter. If you guys look up, look how many there are. Papayas all over the place. And this guy's only about 1 year and 3 months old. And I guess maybe my chin. There we go. I love the papaya leaves. Look at how nice they are. So good. If we go over here, this papaya tree is bigger papaya tree, but it has smaller papayas. And they're also getting ripe as well. They're looking really good all up there. And then the final papaya, if we go up here, it's way out there in the distance. So there's 3 papaya trees here growing pretty nicely. And I have 2 other papayas down here that are just little babies. And these little babies will be the papayas of the next season, the next year. So eventually I'll have 5 papayas out here. And also what's cool is my guava. I'm growing lots of guava here in the Phoenix area. And it's just starting to bloom its flowers here for the springtime. It looks like they bloomed today. They already closed up and set fruit. So I'm pretty excited about the guava because the flowers look like a firework. Here's an example of a guava flower. Check it out. The flowers of the guava look like a firework. See that? That's a guava flower. They're pretty cool. And this flower is white, but this guava is a pink one. And there's literally hundreds and hundreds of flowers off this guy. And the newest tree I just planted, the newest one, is this one here. Look at the trunk, it's all ashy and white. It's actually called a Palo Blanco. And the Palo Blanco is like a deserty tree. And I got this from the Desert Botanical Gardens plant sale. And the Palo Blanco is like an accent tree that doesn't need to be watered because it's like a native. He's pretty nice looking. I don't know, it's a good time of year for my yard. Looks really nice. Let's give you guys a 360 spin. Here we go. That's the back of the yard. Spin through. There's the curry plant, curry tree. Main garden with the date palms there. The neem tree, Royal Poinciana. The pond is over here. And over here is where the waterfall is. And all the bananas, all the banana palms. All the bananas back there. All right, guys, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I'm gonna go in there and become the moderator and keep the comments under control because I see they're kind of out of control here, but just ignore them and focus on me. I love you guys. Follow me on my gardening journey. I've been vegan 16 years since I was 19. I'm 35 years old now. And nowadays my veganism is fed by my garden in my backyard. Love you guys. Go vegan and grow your food at home. Happy Earth Day. Thanks for sticking with me today. This 30-minute live video. Share it, hit the like button, and check out my website, jakemace.com, for more. My online school's there, as well as gardening amendments that I use in my garden. And soon we're gonna have my first ever gardening ebook of how I garden. And you can get it from jakemace.com probably in the next couple months. So I'm out of here. See you guys. Love you. Have a great night. Good weekend.